What's up, everybody? My name is Nick, joined again by my co-host Matt. We're back. We're back. We are back.
We're so back.
Matt, are we back? We're back.
We're so back. It
So
hurts.
Got plenty to talk about over the break. Let's get this out of the way, though. There was a TikTok that happened on the Flash Picks account earlier this week. And I just have to say this from the beginning right now, that all views said by Matthew are Matthew's views and not mine. All views said by me are my views, and they should be Matthew's views because they're the right ones, but they are not Matthew's views. MVP means most valuable player. Sometimes I let Matt just ramble, but now we have an accountability system to show people what I have to deal with on a daily basis. But Matt, what was your statement?
People. So Nick thinks he's funny. I said on the outline, make a statement. So he says this. I'm going to clear this up because none of you guys are For Bettor or Worse fans because you guys clearly did not watch the full episode. So you're going to have to get that and fix that. Second of all, what I said was, and honestly, like, I love the comments and Nick's face right now because it made me laugh at how you can even come to that conclusion. If I said that take to my second graders that I used to be a camp counselor for, they would have understood it better than 95% of you guys on the internet. What I said was, all Shohei Ohtani has to do is be an average hitter, an average pitcher, and I agree he should win MVP. My point is, and that's me not saying he's not that. He's a great hitter and a great pitcher, but I said in this hypothetical, all he has to be is an average pitcher, an average hitter, and he's going to be your most valuable player because he literally takes away a roster spot, pitches and hits for you. Okay? I said all of that. And what I mean is this: no pitcher should also win MVP because there's a Cy Young award. Baseball is the only sport where there's people who do completely different things on offense/defense happening simultaneously. You don't see Tom Brady playing safety and have 3 interceptions in a game. If he did, I agree he should be MVP no matter what. But that's not the case. You shouldn't have, and I think MVPs also shouldn't be defensive players. They should have their own separate category. It's a completely different metric. You just can't make awards that way. So I understand some people, Nick, you look so disgusting right now. It actually hurts.
I mean, I think I finally understand it. I'm starting to get it. So just like,
oh my God. I saw a homeless guy on the street that looks more put together than you right now. But back to my point, in soccer, your goalie's not playing striker the next day. If he was, he should win MVP. But my point is, there should be a pitcher award and a hitter award because Judge shouldn't win MVP this year then because Ohtani obviously does both. And if Ohtani batted .250 and had a 4.5 ERA, he should still win MVP. My thing is, pitchers and offensive players should stay separate. If you agree with that, we should be on the same page. If you don't, then no one else should be MVP besides Shohei Ohtani because he's one of the best baseball players to ever live. That's all I'm trying to say.
I get it. Yep, I get it.
People were in the comments like, dude, you think 40 home runs is average? Like, I did not say Shohei Ohtani's a bad hitter. I said all he has to do is be average at both, and you can make the argument he's the MVP no matter what.
Yep. I just want to reinstate, rephrase, say again my statement.
Reiterate.
Whatever I have to, say. That's Matt's views and strictly Matt's views. That does not reflect Flash Picks or Nick the Picker or our producer. Thank
talk
you.
about them.
MVP means
do this
most
exercise.
valuable player. MVP.
Okay.
It's in the definition of the word. Matt,
I understand.
It's MVP.
So
Have a different
who's
award
MVP this
altogether.
year? Who's MVP this year, Judge or Ohtani?
Aaron Judge.
Why? Ohtani literally pitches and hits for you.
Doesn't matter. Aaron Judge.
Why? No, why? Give me an
fucking
honest
beast.
opinion. How is Aaron Judge more valuable than Shohei Ohtani?
Because he's a fucking beast.
Yeah, but Shohei Ohtani pitches and hits.
Pitches every 5 days. He's been doing well. He had a shitty beginning. Their offensively, they don't do anything. Offensively, they don't do anything. They're not going to be a playoff team either. So that definitely, people say that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Stop.
Mike Trout has how many MVPs and made the playoffs once?
Say it again.
Mike Trout has how many MVPs and he's made the playoffs once? It doesn't matter in baseball. It doesn't matter in baseball.
When your team is this shit offensively, like, you have problems.
But do you see my point with the Ohtani argument? If you think anyone else deserves it, but you also think
sure, I see your point. But to say, but it's in the name of the word.
So then it's not Judge.
Guys, we're going to continue this talk on Thursday with a special guest that Matt doesn't know about. I am dead serious. I will have a guest on Thursday night. It'll be Friday's show. I won't be telling who that is, but we will have a guest and our producer.
I already know who it is.
Him as well.
I could tell who it is based off you bringing it up after this argument because I deduce things very well.
Okay.
And I hope he comes on and I hope he presses me about that.
We're gonna get in an hour argument.
I hope so, because I literally if you agree with that statement that I said, then Ohtani's not MVP. If you don't agree, then he is MVP.
Once I had some drinks, I started to understand a little bit, but before that, whoa. All right.
There's only two sides to the coin.
Moving on, DeGrom comes back on Tuesday. Tell me about that, Matt. Are you excited?
I'm pumped. Amped.
I'm more excited than you.
I'm pamped. I'm mumped. I don't know. Whatever you want to combine these words. It's the best day ever. August 2nd, 7 o'clock in Washington. It kind of sucks because they're pitching Scherzer, DeGrom, and Bassett in Washington that have a 4-game series against the Braves with none of those pitchers pitching, but it is what it is. That's the way the schedule is, and we're just going to torch Washington and have to face the Braves. It is what it is, but it's exciting. He's probably only going to pitch like 4 innings, maybe 5 if he's at a low pitch count, but either way, it should be a holiday. I might take off work.
Yeah, no, it should be awesome to see him back. I caught him early last year, so I've been a fan ever since, really, because he cashed a bunch of tickets early on in the season when kind of nobody knew where he was. But yeah, I'm definitely excited about that as well. DeJounte Murray, and then Pirates versus lefties. System plays that just, are just amazing. Tell me
Pirates versus lefties is cooler because the laddering I feel like is better. DeJounte Murray is more like consistent, just like quick bag. You
could ladder his RA during the early season.
Yeah.
You could. But nobody really did, but you could.
Yeah. They're both tough. I'd say for each sport, they are the sport by sport GOAT system play. Thought it was Jordan, but then he crushes the ball, screams, and it's just a line out to deep center. But lefties versus, they must be blindfolded. They're like, oh, we got a lefty, let's just put blindfolds on for fun. Because they're letting guys who average like 4 or 5 strikeouts get 8 and 9. It's unbelievable.
Why not? You're not going to the playoffs, you're losing, whatever. Just send them out there.
Literally.
Suit the team up. You want to pitch first? You want to hit first? You want to hit second? All right, go ahead. Yeah, no worries. Fuck it.
Hey, I almost got that one. Hey, you fouled one.
Yeah.
Better than you did.
Swing at the ball. That's all you can ask.
It's impressive.
No, it's been great money. Back-to-back days.
That was great.
Awesome. Yeah, I turned $600 into $5,000 recklessly betting. Bet responsibly, people. but it worked out that time.
Literally, like
The exact opposite. Hey, do as I say, not as I do. Right? Is that a thing?
say phrases
The opposite,
that
right?
try
Pretty
to make sense. I don't know. What do you like tomorrow? We caught up. What do you like tomorrow? You tell me.
Well, we just kind of brought up the Mets with DeGrom.
Good.
Scherzer versus Corbin. I mean, we can't not talk about how bad. Please, that'll make us more fans. We can't talk about how bad Patrick Corbin's been. Granted, he is a lefty. The Mets hit lefties a little worse than righties, but still, that's the only bad thing I could see about this matchup, because Corbin, I saw this when I popped up. It said last 7 days his ERA, and I never really pay attention because it's usually just his last start. His last 7 days ERA is 81. 81. That's because he gave up 6 runs versus the Dodgers.
Oh,
he
I
gave
remember
up
that. He got one out. Did he get one out?
Oh, he had 2 outs.
Oh, God.
Yeah, 6 runs in 0.2 innings. Granted, he did 0.2 innings. He also had 45 pitches in 0.2 innings. Yeah, that's on 7 hits and 1 walk. So I mean, that's.
I did see someone get.
He might be a little fresh if you want to look at it that way.
He might be fresh. He might go deep into that game. He might.
I mean, usually he does, just because they don't have. I mean, their bullpen's 23rd as well. But let's go back through his log a little bit. He's given up 6, 5, 5, 4, 1. Guess who that was versus?
Let me guess. The Marlins.
The Marlins.
Wow, let's go.
At the time, were absolute and still are shit offense. Gave up 1 versus the Pirates, and then 3, 2, 4, 3. I mean 7. He just sucks. He gave up 7 last time.
How many strikeouts did he have versus the Pirates? I just want to know, because he's a lefty.
12.
Oh my God.
That's the game. You didn't know that about that game? That's the game that was like, holy fuck.
Yeah, I think I forgot just so many times, but I just wanted to know.
Yeah, 12. He has faced the Mets this year. He gave up 7 runs and 12 hits in 4.1 4.4 and a 1/3 inning. That'll work. And then he's faced him a couple times. So he did earlier in the season give up 0 runs. That was like back in the beginning of June. And the first start of the season, he gave up 2 runs. But still, I mean, he has been
first start of the season. Doesn't count.
Yeah, it doesn't count. He's awful. The line right now is 4.5. I'm gonna take it. It's a small card. You gotta try to find value, and this guy, he's just been too bad not to target, especially versus a Mets team that's good offensively. Along with that, so he's got a 6.49 ERA on the season, 1.77 WHIP, and 4-14 record. That being said, the bullpen as well is 23rd in the league with an ERA of 4.19. So even if he gets pulled early, you still have a good chance overall. Mets are humming. They've cleared that number 4 of the last 6 games. And that's versus way better competition overall. I just think it's a good line to target. What are your thoughts?
No, I agree. One thing I'm gonna do during this game is live bet a walk on Pete Alonso's at bats, because Patrick Corbin is still terrified of polar bears. The rumor's true. He walked him twice in both his last 2 games he pitched against the Mets. He walked Alonso twice each game. That's a lot. That's just, I'm terrified of you. I watched the game. They weren't even close pitches. Some of them were like, I don't even care if you get on. There's already a guy on base. We're not trying to win this game. I just don't want you to hit a home run off me. it is what it is. So you're gonna see a lot of base runners. This Mets offense has been hot. I think they're rallying behind DeGrom back in the dugout as well. And this is kind of like a playoff series for them, even though it's the Nationals. But this is the first time they're going to have Scherzer, DeGrom, Bassett, who's most likely going to be the three starters in a playoff series. So I think they're emotionally there. I think they won like 6 in a row or something like that, where they're rallying. They're in a good place. It's just a bad spot to be Patrick Corbin. And if you're afraid of polar bears, it's just not a good place to be.
Yeah, they have won 6 in a row, just so you know, as well. So you are right on that. Last loss going to the Padres. Yeah, I think that's the best thing as far as value on that game. Other than maybe player props or something like that. But I'm sure those walk odds should be pretty nice for live betting. So, but another game we want to target is, well, really I want to talk about is the Reds at Marlins. Hunter Green.
Yeah.
Boy, Hunter Green. Marlins, not the best team as far as not striking out. That being said, he should say he only had 6 versus the last game, with a line of 6.5, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I got Captain hooked on that one.
Yeah.
A lot of 2-strike counts, I think. I got to go back and look, but I think there was a lot of 2-strike counts.
Yeah, I mean, that doesn't surprise me at all. What are your thoughts on him? And we don't have a line currently.
Yeah, I think I usually don't like to go back because I've seen it time and time again where I saw like Jake Odorizzi went against the A's, had like 7, 5, and then 3. We just saw Bassett against the Marlins have like 7, 7, then like 5, 4, 3. Walker just did the same thing where he had like 9, 7, 5, and then 4 last night. So usually I stay away with guys who face them so soon, but Hunter Green is kind of like a different breed, and the Marlins do strike out a decent amount. So if I see a 6.5 line, I'm probably going to just stay away. Maybe live bet a couple strikeouts. But if I see a 5.5, I'm probably going back to the well. It's probably what I'm seeing.
So this is one thing I've kind of noticed, that he has struggled a little bit recently. I mean, struggled is a weird word because he was doing so well as far strikeout wise. Granted, he gives up runs all the time in any sort of game. So I'm talking about strikeout wise. 6, 6, 9, 5, 5, 3, 6. But before that, 7, 8, 8, 6, 6, 9, 7, 6. I mean, he is a little bit more consistent. He had a couple bad games and then just lower overall. I don't know. It just looked like he dipped a little bit because he was at the 7, 8, 9 kind of range for a good little stretch in the middle of May, June time frame. So I don't know. It's just scary. It is scary because it's not like it's a couple games ago as far as him pitching. It's his most recent. I can't speak tonight. Most recent start, 26th. But is the Marlins? I don't know.
Yeah, it should be. I'm just gonna see I'm gonna let the line dictate what I do. I think that's what the move is.
As far as the game, do you have any leans any way, which way? I mean,
absolutely not.
Okay.
I don't even see a lineup. I don't even see it up yet.
Well, there's no Marlins pitcher, so as of right now, so that makes a lot of sense.
Probably the Reds, just because I don't know. I really don't know.
Yeah.
I have to see.
There is one game I want to squeeze in real quick because it's something that I kind of see value in, but it also scares the shit out of me. It's this Orioles game. I know I mentioned to you versus the Rangers.
Yeah.
I kind of like it, especially at plus 140. I gotta look into it more, but I mean, talk to me about it. What do you see?
I mean, they're they're always a live dog. I happen to like John Gray, but the Rangers have just been so hit or miss for me. Um, I wouldn't play the Rangers. If you're gonna play someone, I'd probably play the Orioles, but I don't know if I like it enough to actually play it. But you have a good
Yep.
price, plus 145. A first five plus 0.5 is probably decent. So it depends. I might have to wait for the lineup, see what's going on there to make a decision. But first glance, it could be a little bit of a misprice.
Well, let me talk to you a little bit about since he came back in July. So he came back July 25th. He gave up 0 runs in 5 innings, 1 run, 1 run, 1 run, and then his most recent game, 3 runs on 10 hits versus the Rays. But before that, Mr. Consistency overall. I'm just now thinking about it. I did bet him versus the Rays, so that wasn't great, but um but I mean, I don't know. This Orioles team, especially recently, obviously they came back and passed the Red Sox overall. I kind of like them. I really do. And that's something I'm going to look at in the morning a little bit more, see lineups. I don't know. I got to think on it, but that's something that we can call it a lean at this point. We can call it a lean. Yeah. Sorry, I had to squeeze that in there. I know we got up next. Red Sox at Astros. Evaldi versus Garcia. Why don't you run us through that game?
Yeah, this Red Sox team's got to be given up. Devers is not playing. I don't even know the timetable when he'll be back, honestly. But they look like a shell of themselves. They lost, I think, 3 of their last 10. I think they're 3-7 in the last 10 games. Now 18 games back from the Yankees, even though they were never going to catch them anyway. They're now in dead last in the AL East behind the Orioles. Their game under 500. I think they're going to be sellers at the deadline just because of the Sale injury. There's no way they can come back. Devers is still his back's still hurting from carrying this team all year. So it's kind of a sticky situation. They have to either trick themselves into thinking they have a chance and try to be buyers and make a push, or do the smart thing, and that's maybe trade JD Martinez or Vasquez, who can opt out or be gone after a year or so. I don't think they should be crazy and trade Devers or Bogarts, but Martinez may be a solid option to get something back to kind of regroup here and just focus on next year. Because as far as this timeline's been going, Chris Sale may never pitch again just because he just seems like he's always got issues. That being said, the Astros are coming off a great win. I think Jordan just had a walk-off single last night to win the game. They look great. They're competing with the Yankees for the best record in the American League, I believe. And this is the year where you want to have first and second in the AL because there's the extra wild card spots, so you do get that bye. They're now like a game or 2 behind the Yankees for that first spot. Should be interesting. Both these pitchers kind of got rocked when they faced each other. Evaldi pitched 1.2 innings, gave up 9 runs, 8 hits, 6 were earned, and 5 home runs. That won't happen again, the 5 home runs. Devers was also, I believe, in that game, like doing really well. That was a different game for when Garcia started versus them. So both pitchers kind of got blown up. I think Garcia gave up 5 runs in 4 innings, or 4 and 5, one of the two. It wasn't a good performance. That was also when the Red Sox were a lot better. They were winning games. Devers was playing. He was 2 for 3 with an RBI or 2, a couple runs scored. I think you have to lean Astros in this spot. Evaldi's been a shell of himself. It's an interesting game, which I thought would be more exciting down the line, but I think it's Astros or nothing here.
Yeah. A couple things. Red Sox would never really had a chance this year. Their offense, their lineup is sick. I mean, if you go through it, stats, they got all of it. Great batting average, home runs, power, speed. Duran was a great option and the leadoff later on in the season. Great. Pitching, shit. Absolute shit. I mean, Evaldi, I would say, is their best starter, and he has not. I mean, you just went through some of his stats. He just inconsistent at times and really bad, like blow up bad.
Yeah.
That being said, their bullpen is crap as well. 4.27. They're 26th in the league, so they just have a lot of problems pitching the ball. To where they, be a serious playoff team. It's just, it was never in the cards.
Yeah.
I feel like they were outscoring a lot of people at the beginning of the year. And that, I mean, they've been doing that a lot this year, but yeah.
Even last year they made the playoffs. I think they overachieved. So
And
it's like,
defensively, recently, so many
yeah.
errors. I keep saying, I see
Yeah, bad.
so many
Well, I
errors.
think it's like a mental thing. They just like gave up.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I've seen a lot more recently, but still, that's not something that hasn't been happening all year. Granted, every team has errors, but some more than others,
Yeah.
Um,
It's not a good look. And the Astros coming off a walk-off, that just kind of motivates you to the next series. It's like the energy and momentum kind of carries over.
so what do you think? Over? Do we think team total? I kind of lean Astros team total at this point.
Yeah,
Just
I think
because
I'm the same way.
Evaldi's been, crap recently, and he has a poor history this season versus them as well. Astros hitting well. Let's see what they've done in the last couple games at least. Let's see. 3, 3, 5, 8, 3, 5, 7. It's a little all over the place.
My only worry is that they rest some people because they've had such a long schedule. I'm not sure if it'd be this game, but I'm just get worried on this long like span of games that they're gonna, they might sit Altuve, they might sit Jordan, so I'd just be
do you really think that game tomorrow would be the day they do that?
I just don't know. I mean, they've played. I'm trying to remember the games they've played. I remember it being pretty brutal, honestly, after the All-Star break because they had that doubleheader against the Yankees.
Yeah.
And then had like a long road trip. Let me go back. So after the All-Star break, they played a doubleheader against the Yankees, then traveled and played the next day in Seattle, played 3 games in Seattle, then traveled to Oakland, which isn't far, played 3 games in a row again, and then went back home to Houston to play the Mariners again, and have still not had a day off. So
yeah, they haven't had a day off in over a week.
yeah. And their next day off isn't even until August 8th.
Yeah, that's insane.
So
That's a good point. Definitely.
I wait for a lineup to come out, but it's looking like Astros.
Yeah. I mean, granted, if the line moves, great, whatever. That's always things with team totals and stuff like that. Like, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. If I have a real problem with it and the line moves after I look at the lineup, first of all, I'd rather have the reassurance of looking at the lineup and then being like, okay, good, boom, let's put it in. Worst case scenario, you just hope for a nerfy and then you bet after that and you get a half point, maybe even a point off. You're good to go.
Unless they sit like Altuve and Jordan, which they would never do because they're fighting for this first spot in the AL. It shouldn't be a big deal because their offense is pretty powerful anyway. So
yeah, no, 100%. Any other? I mean, it's a small slate overall. Anything else you want to talk about or bring up?
I'm itching for football to start. Itching for football to start.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. College football is gonna be awesome. I know you don't care about that, but nobody cares about your opinion.
Keep chopping Rutgers, baby. Let's go.
No wonder. I forget you're from up north. I don't even like college football isn't a thing up there. When's the last serious question? When's the last time a team has won a national championship from the Northeast? I was gonna say the Mason-Dixon line, but like you can't like count like Ohio State, like old school North versus South Civil War.
Well, I mean,
last team.
it's been the same 6 to 8 teams in the last 15 years.
Go
Um,
dog,
go what?
dogs.
Are you a Georgia fan?
Yeah, dude.
I kind of knew that though. I know some stuff.
I'd hope so. They
No,
won
yeah,
the national championship, number one.
I'm trying to think who we even have up here. It's like there's like Penn State and Rutgers.
Yeah, Penn State's
Pitt.
awful. Recently.
Pitt used to be good like 30 years ago.
They were okay last year, but that's only because Kenny Pickett.
Yeah, they're not going to win a national championship.
Oh no, they're not. Nope. Dan Marino ain't coming back, so
No.
that ain't happening.
Joe Flacco played for University of Delaware. I think they were somewhat decent.
Okay, stop. We don't. All right, that's enough of that. We do not need to be talking about Northeastern college football teams. So I brought it up. That's on me, guys. That's on me.
You're right. You're right.
Thanks for joining us. Another episode in the books. We do have a special guest on Friday. Was not joking about that. Matthew should be very excited for that opportunity.
You want to announce
Again,
who the guest is?
all opinions. What?
I think I know who the guest is, but you want to keep a secret?
Why don't you guess? Go ahead. Go guess.
It's to be the guy who commented on that TikTok.
Who's that?
Just Baseball.
I don't know who that is. Best of luck, guys,
What?
in your bets.
It is him. Okay.
We'll have to see you on Friday.
It is him.
Best of luck in your bets. Bet responsibly. We will see you on Wednesday. Peace.
Peace.